Former Ekurhuleni city manager Dr. Imogen Mashazi has considered that suspended acting EMPD chief Julius Mkhwanazi acted unlawfully when he pushed through 55 senior appointments and promotions, a move that bypassed his superiors and exposed deep governance failures in the Metro's police department. Mashazi made the admission during tense testimony at the Madlanga Commission, where she struggled to explain why she failed to intervene as Mkhwanazi allegedly ran the EMPD as he pleased. Evidence leader Advocate Mahlape Silo SC repeatedly pressed Mashazi on what steps she took after learning that Mkhwanazi had elevated dozens of officers without authorization or proper vetting. Initially, Mashazi responded bluntly, saying nothing. Moments later, she retracted the statement, insisting she could no longer recall what actions, if any, she had taken. Co-Commissioner Sisibaloyi raised sharp concerns about her evasiveness. Said, I do have a problem when you say I don't recall and leave it at that. It raises issues about whether you are taking this process seriously. You had the opportunity to refresh your memory. Mashazi, tense and visibly uncomfortable, replied no comment. He ran the department as he pleased. Her testimony comes after EMPD Chief Jabulani Mapiyeye told the commission that Mkhwanazi repeatedly undermined him, allegedly with Mashazi's backing. Between May and July 2024, while Mapiyeye was on leave, Mkhwanazi installed 55 officers into senior positions without informing him. Mapiyeye said he raised concerns, but Mkhwanazi continued with her blessing. Mashazi denied authorizing any irregular promotions, calling it unfortunate and irregular for unqualified officers to be appointed. She insisted she believed EMPD staff fell under the SAPS Act, though she admitted Mkhwanazi overstepped his delegated powers and acted unlawfully by failing to consult Mapiyeye. Silo challenged her interpretation, noting that police legislation places appointment authorities squarely with the police chief, with no requirement for consultation. Mashazi also claimed Mapiyeye never formally complained to her about the 55 appointments. Under further questioning, she backtracked, saying she made that assertion because she did not have access to his written complaint at the time. She said she advised him to draft a policy to prevent similar disputes. Tensions escalated multiple times during her testimony. The evidence leader reprimanded Mashazi for looking at her phone during questioning and later asked her to face her directly after she turned away mid-question. In one of her most damaging admissions, Mashazi acknowledged receiving an IPID report recommending charges against Mkhwanazi for alleged fraud and the suspicious registration of city-owned vehicles under private names. Despite the seriousness of the findings, she took no action. The revelations have reignited long-standing allegations that Mashazi shielded Mkhwanazi from accountability. Claims she rejected even as her testimony raised fresh questions about her conduct. Meanwhile, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi's appointment as Deputy Chief of the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department came under renewed scrutiny due to allegations of irregularities. Police Chief Isaac Mapiyeye's written allegations that Mkhwanazi's appointment was irregular as the interview process lacked a competency assessment report. Mapiyeye, as the chief of police and chair of the interview panel, testified that the panel was not reconvened to consider Mkhwanazi's competency assessment report, leaving the interview process incomplete. Mkhwanazi was previously appointed as acting police chief by Mashazi. Mkhwanazi has been accused of facilitating unauthorized memorandums of understanding with CAT VIP Security and Medicare 24, companies linked to controversial businessman Vusimuzi Cat Madlala. Mashazi testified that Mkhwanazi did not have the authority to enter into external agreements. Regarding Mkhwanazi's appointment as deputy chief, Mashazi stated that she was not involved in the process because she was on leave at the time. Evidence leader Advocate Mahlape Silo confronted Mashazi with Mapiyeye's testimony, highlighting that the interview panel was not reconvened to consider Mkhwanazi's competency assessment reports. Mashazi said the process can't be valid if the competency assessments were not done. Mashasa repeatedly stated that Linda Kasheka, the head of human resource for Ekurhuleni, would provide more insight into the appointments process as it fell under her purview. When asked if she would accept responsibility for the potentially irregular appointment, she replied, "I do." She was also questioned about appointing Mkhwanazi as acting chief in May 2024 and again in September 2024 following Mapia's suspension amid sexual harassment allegations. She defended Mkhwanazi's appointment as acting police chief, citing his qualification as deputy police chief. The justification came despite the Independent Police Investigative Directorate report recommending disciplinary action against Mkhwanazi due to his dealings with Madlala's companies. According to her, there were no issues with Mkhwanazi's appointment following legal advice she obtained from the head of corporate legal services for Ekurhuleni, Advocate Kemi Bahari, that the IPID report was insufficient.
It is advice to you that the IPID recommendation is vague, has no basis. Now you know that it wasn't your language was it's not helpful to you. You accept that it was wrong. Knowing all of that, do you accept that the appointment of Brigadier Mkhwanazi by you to act after that appointment, that invalid appointment, that appointing him to act as chief of police was in fact an irregularity?
I accept.
You accept that. Thank you.
You like, and I think you started saying this from yesterday already, you like saying, I did not get a report. You've said that a good few times, even this morning, I did not get a report. I don't understand that. You are the leader, you are the top administrator, you are aware of what is happening around you, even if it is at the level of allegations. I just don't understand why you would sit back and wait for a quote-unquote report. Do you want to comment on that?
I want to comment by saying that obviously it's like an oversight that I could have reported the case to IPID so that I can get a proper report and discipline.
And not just that. Not just that. You are an administrator within the local sphere of government. You don't have to have a report from an outsider, as it were, IPID, for you to be able to act. Why should that be so? Well, now you are suggesting that for you to act, you must always get a report from IPID. That cannot be so. You are part of a sphere of government which is autonomous. You said so yesterday. So why must you want to get something from another sphere of government? Police operated the national sphere of government. Why must you first get that before you act? Get a report from IPID. I don't understand that.
Yeah, maybe I did not come out clearly in terms of the processes that before I can act against a senior manager, I must get a report.
From whom?
Here, this
from whom?
A complaint, a formal complaint.
At the time, in 2020, did you not become aware at the time that members of the EMPD had protested? On the day the protest took place, or at the latest, the very next day, did you not get to know that members of the EMPD had protested?
I was aware.
You were aware?